Hi guys, welcome to CAISTROLOGY. My name is Cailin and today I'm going to be covering your 2023 tarot predictions. So before I go through the four groups and which decks I'll be using, I'm just going to light these candles, and also I want to let you guys know that I actually have my 2023 yearly horoscopes available for purchase. These horoscopes are super in-depth. They're about an hour and 45 minutes each, and you can purchase yours for your Ascendant, Sun or Moon sign. I do recommend going for all three just to give you a really well-rounded idea of what you can expect for the year ahead. But obviously you're here for a tarot reading. So the four groups to choose from are the Dreamy Moons Tarot, the Star Child Tarot, the Crow Tarot, and the Matt Hughes Ethereal Visions tarot deck. So feel free to pause the video just while you're making your decision. You may feel called to the deck based on the color of the deck. Maybe you'll feel called to it based on the words. I've got these mini cards for each deck. So for group 1, we've got Permission and the purple turtle. So maybe you'll be drawn to that one. For group 2, which is the Star Child Tarot, I've got my little green turtle and the Worthy card there. I cannot tell if that is focusing because I am not wearing my glasses. For group 3, I've got this blue turtle and the word Surrender. And for group 4, I have my orange turtle, which matches me, and Inner Wisdom. Okay, so without further ado, I'm now going to get into group 1's reading. If you're skipping ahead to some of the other groups, you can click on the timestamps in the description box below. If you feel drawn to more than one group, that is totally fine. So now let's start with group 1. Hi group 1, for those of you who chose the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck and the purple turtle. Before I get into it, I'm actually just going to pull an Archetypes card by the Wild Unknown just to see what the catalyst energy is for the year overall. So this is like what you'll be aiming towards. I'm just realizing that wearing this ring and trying to knock on my cards is not going to be fun. Anyway, this card is going to represent the overall energy for the year and what you're striving towards, where you may be transforming, what you may be leaving behind, or what blessings may be coming to you. So group 1 straight away. Oh, I've got 2. Wow. Okay, I've got the Seed and the Shaman. Okay, and I'm going to be really annoying. I'm going to do this on camera and I'm going to change the rings on my hands because I can't deal with this. So with 2 cards coming out, first of all, it's pretty clear that you are planting the seed here to develop and cultivate your intuition even further. So for some of you, you may already identify as being extremely intuitive or psychic. For others of you, this may be something that is in its infancy. Okay, the Shaman carries magician-like energy, as in the magician in the tarot. So this speaks to your ability to manifest that which you want to call into your life. So a key part of 2023 for you will be giving yourself permission to go after the things that you want, to really embrace whatever it is that you desire without criticizing yourself or chastising yourself for why it is that you want these things. I feel inclined to read, do I want to read the Seed or the Shaman? Do I want to do both? I'm going to be here for a long time. And so are you guys, so hopefully you'll stick with me for this reading. Let's start with the Seed at the very least. Do you know what? I'm going to read the Seed first, and then a little bit later I'm going to read the Shaman when I feel that it is relevant, just because, you know, we want to plant the seeds first. So the Seed, the beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. When light, generative, fertile, germinating, building. When dark, festering, stewing, and dormant. Very, very interesting. Now, before I get into the tarot, I'm going to pull an animal card just to see. Okay, we've got the cobra. I actually filmed a tarot reading just a few days ago, which was basically about how what your person's true feelings are for you. So if you have questions surrounding love or a romantic interest, you may want to go and check out that reading. It is timeless. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for you, and I'm actually just going to place that here. Okay, so now let's have a look at the energy for the year. Do I want to do this month by month, or do I want to block this into 3-month periods? I feel inclined to do 3-month periods. Just talking out loud. Okay, so for the first quarter of the year, let's have a look at a blessing coming your way. Okay, and an obstacle. And advice. I'm going to show you all of these once I've finished pulling the cards. So let's have a look at the blessing for the second quarter. Wow. Obstacle. Advice. Okay. And then third quarter. Blessing. That's interesting. I started off by saying blessing, obstacle, advice, blessing, obstacle, advice. And then I think I went to obstacle, blessing. Anyway, just saying this out loud so I remember. Okay, blessing for fourth quarter, obstacle, and advice. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. And if you fast forwarded, that's totally fair enough. Okay, so I'm also going to take some Moonology oracle decks. Oracle cards. Okay, so first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Okay, and also I want to look at another blessing, like for the year overall. Okay, and your karmic lesson for the year, what you'll be learning this year. Alrighty, so let's get down to business. For the first quarter of the year, the blessing that's coming through is the Page of Cups reversed. Okay, so we're looking at January, February, March in 2023. With the Page of Cups being reversed, this is like having another shot at something that you absolutely love, something that you are very, very passionate about, perhaps something that you'd actually given up on. This could be a romantic interest. This could be like someone re-entering your life or a second shot at a relationship. This could be having success with work, or with finances or something that you were trying to make work. But I really feel like this is essentially something that you had all but given up hope in being able to achieve. So this is the Page of Cups reversed. This is the blessing that is coming through to you. And for some of you, I feel as though this is connected to actually discovering your life's purpose, or getting clarity about why you are where you are at this point in your journey. So it really feels like there's been a big piece of the puzzle in your life that has been eluding you somehow. And with the obstacle that's coming through, we've got the 10 of Pentacles here, which is a card that speaks to 10 of Stars, which is the 10 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite Tarot. Anyway, 10 of Pentacles energy is like abundance, prosperity, getting everything that you ever dreamed of. So it's almost like you maybe detached from the things that you really wanted in your life because they just didn't seem like they could come through for you. So I feel as though the first 3 months of the year will very much be about reconnecting to what you love, who you love, what you're passionate about, your sense of purpose. And in terms of the advice, we've got the 4 of Stars here, which is the 4 of Pentacles card. So this is asking you to stick to your guns. Don't compromise. Don't settle for less. Don't just give up on your dreams and on your wishes, because they're definitely valid. With the Meditate and Contemplate card coming out, I feel as though this is very much to do with contemplating what it is that you want to achieve and meditating on surrendering and allowing yourself to want what you want. You know, with this Permission card here, I feel as though that there is something in your life that you are deathly afraid of admitting to yourself that you desire. And it's almost like if you allow yourself to admit, with this Temptress card here, how tempted you are, how much you want this this thing or this energy to come through for you, that it's like the weight of potential rejection or failure may just topple you over in terms of your soul's purpose, in terms of, like, let's say the karmic lesson for you this year in 2023. We have assimilate life experience. Okay, so this card is asking you to try your best to manifest your dreams into reality. So at this point, I do feel inclined to read the message for the shaman. Where'd my book go? What number is this? Okay, the shaman, the magi, the sorcerer, the medicine woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed toward the healing of the self, the other, and the culture. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. When light, fearless student and practitioner. When dark, overpromises, blames, hurts self and others. Okay, so with this energy, and also coming out with the Cobra card, which speaks about education and learning. And look, we've got wow. Okay, we've also got a red snake here, and this snake has a red background. So I really, really feel as though there is some kind of, I want to say, like, forbidden fruit that you guys want to taste, that you want to explore. It looks like you guys are so tempted by this elusive thing that you are just like not even allowing yourself to outright desire. And again, this comes down to giving yourself permission to do just that. So I really feel like the first 3 months of the year is going to be about coming to terms with what you want in life and not judging yourself for what it is that you do want. So in terms of advice, okay, we've got autumn. Release the old and rest, and star ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. So in the first 3 months of the year, you're going to have to let something go in order to welcome in the new. Now, obviously that's pretty vague advice, but just bear in mind that this is a general reading, so it's not as though I can go into every single specific scenario that's coming up. But let's just see what you may have to release. Okay, we've got the Sun, the third house, and Leo. So this may be a friendship. This may even be like a family connection, or this could be something to do with coursework or study or certain ideas that you had. For some of you, this could be connected to walking away from a certain job or career in order to take a risk and take a gamble on something else. I'm just going to pull like an Angels of Abundance card just to see. This says visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. Okay, so I just saw a card peeking out at me that says it is safe for you to receive. I can't find it, but I just wanted to say that whatever it is that you want to manifest into your life, it is possible for you. It's possible to plant the seeds in January, February, or March. You may even see the first sprout up from what it is that you want to manifest. And with this huge tree here, it's growing into abundance. For some of you, this could also be wanting to start a family, trying again to start a family, trying to start a family with someone new, or doing it on your own, going solo. I do get relationship energy that's coming through with the first quarter of the year. And with that being said, this is to do with either reinvesting in an existing connection or recommitting to a relationship that you're already engaged in, or trying again with someone else, or trying with someone who's been in your life for however long. So overall, I do feel that the first 3 months of the year will be focused on relationships, career, finances, just having a do-over, trying again in a different way, or allowing yourself to simply want what you want and be really unapologetic about that. So now let's have a look at the energy of April, May, and June. So in the blessings position, we've got the Ace of Crystals, which is beautiful. Love to see an ace. And then in the obstacle, we've got the Three of Wands. And with the advice, we've got the Queen of Cups. So with this energy, and also we've got full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. So the second quarter of the year, you're going to receive crystal clear information, clarification, just be having epiphanies and downloads about what to do next. So any uncertainty or confusion that you have been experiencing as you enter the year or within the first 3 months of the year, this is going to be completely, clear for you. I'm just seeing clouds clearing. I'm seeing like sunshine and rainbows, and it's almost like you get the vision, you just see what it is that you want to manifest, and there's no more confusion about what you want for yourself. And I really feel like you will fully allow yourself to just be like, this is the life I want, this is what I want, this is who I want, this is the job I want, this is a path that I want to take. Holy crap, that's way too many, but I'm just going to honor these 3 that came out. This says grateful, ask, and receive. Holy crap. This is like just being grateful for the information, grateful for the knowledge, grateful that you are finally listening to your higher self and what it is that you want. And it's just amazing that we have ask and receive. I mean, it's clear as day. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so despite how obvious this message is, the obstacle is moving forwards. Okay, so I feel as though there's some kind of blockage when it comes to taking the first step or taking a major step when it comes to just going for it. You know, really just knowing what you want is one thing, but then taking steps towards it is totally different. That is what is going to be the obstacle or the challenge for you during April, May, and June. This says sage, be devoted and be committed. And we can see that there's he's holding a quill that's like a peacock feather. So with this, yeah, this is asking you to be devoted to what you want and to really fully commit to what it is that you want. With the peacock imagery coming through and him sort of scribing on a leaf, it's almost like what it is that you want to go out and achieve, or what it is that you want to obtain or manifest into your life. I feel as though this is going to be on display somehow with the peacock. It's like you have to make it known or make it public, or something about this new opportunity or chapter or direction that you're going in is just going to be noticeable by other people. And maybe some of the hesitation is coming through because of the awareness of other people about this decision or this action that you want to take. And even now, like, my voice is kind of fading. So there's a lot here about speaking your truth. I think this tea is going to be cold. Anyway, so it's about being really honest with yourself and what it is that you want to achieve, despite what other people may say. It's still warm. Don't worry about me, guys. So I'm going to roll the dice and just see what this may be in connection to. Libra, the South Node in the 6th house. So for some of you, this is walking away from a job. For some of you, this is walking away from a relationship or a connection. For others of you, this could be to do with giving up an old way of being, or something to do with, let's say, habits that you have formed. And I know that that sounds strange, but I just want to give you like a hypothetical example. For some of you, you may be very much into partying, or perhaps you're like a happy-go-lucky person, and a lot of your life, maybe even your work, is centered around going out for drinks with other people, or maybe you work in events, or for example, like at a bar or a nightclub, and you're like, okay, I don't want to drink anymore, or there's something that you want to stop doing. Maybe it's smoking cigarettes or smoking pot, or something that's like socially acceptable within your current set of circumstances, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It could even be, for example, eating meat, and maybe you are part of a family where meat is really like big in your culture. For example, I'm Greek, so that's why that example is coming to the forefront of my mind. Somehow it just feels like there's something that you really want to do, and you have this idea for it. You're so clear on what it is, but somehow like staking your claim or making declarations about going after this is like very scary for you. And again, with this advice, and I'm just circling back to the Queen of Cups card, which says, follow your heart, follow your intuitive inner knowing, follow your bliss. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. With the Page of Cups being reversed and in the first 3 months of the year, and then this Queen of Cups here, it's like I almost feel like we're skipping a step because there's no Knight of Cups. So you're going from just reconnecting to what it is that you want in your life, you know, in the first 3 months of the year. And it's almost like a quantum leap. I feel like you're just doing this huge shedding of your skin, of your old skin, and of an old way of being, especially with the Cobra card here. And all of a sudden, I'm just honing in on how snakes just bide their time for ages, and then at the perfect moment, they strike. And it's just once. And it's fatal. It's game over. I mean, maybe it's not fatal, but do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like waiting for that exact moment where you're in precisely the right moment to shoot your shot, and then just being like, fuck it, I'm going for it. So I feel very excited for you guys about April, May, and June. I'm going to move on to the third quarter. Did I pull enough cards? Yeah. I think I've pulled enough cards. Actually, I was going to pull an Angels of Abundance card on the matter, just to see how you can really step into your power and achieve what it is that you want to achieve. So let's just see. Oh, wow. So this says words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving, optimistic terms, and that is what you attract for yourself and others. So I feel as though it's incredibly important for you not to speak about this situation or speak about whatever it is that you want to achieve, A, prematurely, and B, in any negative light. Just an example of that would be if you want to start your own business, and you know, maybe that is what you're wanting to do here. It is just of the highest importance that you don't say, oh, it's going to be a failure, I could never be successful, I'm not going to make money. No, zip it. I'm not going to hear you guys talking about it unless you're my friends, but I don't want you to say even one negative thing about it. And if you accidentally do say something negative about it, literally take it back. Like for me personally, I used to say things like off the cuff, being like, I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? I didn't even think about it. Like it just slips out. And sometimes it still does, but I try really hard to not even do that. And if I do say, like even in the car when I'm by myself, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm an idiot. I will literally say out loud, I'm not an idiot. Like I will reverse that. So it's the same thing in this scenario. Whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest into your life, whatever seed you've been trying to plant, you know, you cannot put any negative juju on the seed. So just catch yourself anytime you start to say this won't work out or whatever. And even if you're thinking it, if you have a negative thought about it, try to think the counter thought. So if you think, oh, this will never work out, then go, no, it will work out. It will work out. I hope that makes sense. So now let's have a look at May, June, July, August, September, October. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords reversed and the Ace of Pentacles. I genuinely can't remember which was the obstacle and which was the blessing. So, I mean, there's no accidents here. I really think that this is to do with mirroring energy. And in the advice, we've got the Emperor. Okay, so this seems pretty simple and straightforward to me, actually. With the Three of Swords, oh my God. with these two cards coming out side by side, there must be a deep level of healing and acceptance that comes through with the Three of Swords and letting go of the past for you to welcome this blessing into your life. I mean, back-to-back quarters, we've got two aces, an Ace of Crystals and an Ace of Pentacles. For some people, this is the start of that new job. For some people, this is the start of your new business, buying a home, building a home, relocating to where it is that you want to relocate, getting accepted into whatever college or university or education program that you want to be accepted into. For others of you, this is taking your salary or your pay to the next level. This could absolutely be the birth of a new child or falling pregnant. And for others of you, this could absolutely be the beginning of a new relationship. I'm extremely excited about this quarter of the year for you. With the Three of Swords, there's just going to be that energy of, oh shit, like this is too good to be true. How could this possibly go my way? Am I deserving of this? What if I mess it up? What if I'm a bad parent? What if I'm a bad romantic partner? What if I, fail with the new job or the new opportunity? But it's so important with the Emperor card that you are just strong in your power. I feel as though this 3-month period will allow you to come into your own, feel more confident, feel like you have more personal authority and autonomy. If you've been in a situation where you have been beholden to other people's wishes or whims, or you've just been relying on others, this is a time where you're really coming into your own. With the Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. To be honest, there is such a profound opportunity for you to heal your heart and to let go of the past. And what I'm hearing is just like a release of fear. Okay, with this card saying a personal issue reaches resolution, and with the full moon being in Cancer and this card being reversed, I'm not going to lie, you may have to crack some eggs to make an omelette. You may be going against the grain. You may be going against certain advice from family members or loved ones. Maybe you simply have to put yourself first, and this could impact, what I'm trying to say is putting yourself first could contradict what someone else wants from the situation. For some of you, maybe you're breaking up with someone and it's like you need to put yourself first, just as an example, but you're hurting the other person. But, this is about you reaching the resolution and what's important for you. Okay, so that's just a random example. This card says, take a divinely guided chance. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Okay, so there is just so much newness coming in during August, oh my God, I've buggered it up. July, August, and September. Okay, I've got the 10th house, Virgo, and Neptune. So for some of you, this is like associated with leaving a certain job behind or career or a certain position in terms of like your reputation or your status. With the Virgo card being here, Virgo is connected to work, health, as well as habits, responsibilities. But more to the point, Virgo is like two sides of the same coin when it comes to being a servant and being of service. Okay, so this is about walking away from something that you have felt obligated to dutifully uphold or to maintain in your life. So it's honestly going to require a lot of, I'm hearing the word courage from you in order to basically take this for yourself. Take this golden opportunity, this gift for the universe. You will have to stick to your guns. You will have to maintain your boundaries. You will have to speak up and be extremely honest and forthright and authentic about what it is that you want to achieve. Knocking this card over makes me suddenly want to read the message for the Cobra from the guidebook. Cobra. Okay. This says, pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests, there's that word manifestation, and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When in balance, a student of life, humble, wise. When out of balance, know-it-all and egocentric. To bring into balance, take a class, study. I heard a saying, which I'm about to butcher, which follows on from when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And it's like something to do with when the student is truly ready, the teacher leaves. So it's like when you've mastered a certain lesson. So for some of you, this is just like walking away from what you thought you knew or what you thought you wanted in order to embrace something new and learn something new. So anyway, let's move on though to the last 3 months of the year. So we're looking at October, November, December. In the blessings, we've got the 9 of Wands. In the obstacle, I have judgment. And then in the advice, I have strength. Okay, so, and also I have a card here which says, nothing will come of the situation. It was reversed. The message down below says, void of course, moon. Okay, so with this energy for the last 3 months of the year, because the 9 of Wands, which is typically a card which speaks about, you know, being at the end of a journey, having that last test, that last final push, because this is coming through as like the blessing, this is actually a blessing in disguise. So I'm not going to lie, the last 3 months of the year, you will be in this energy of pushing through. It's the last test. You're on the precipice of an enormous breakthrough. It does feel like it's an uphill, I want to say battle, but I just see you guys like mustering all of your strength, all of your courage, all of your determination, especially with the strength card here. It is important to note that you will have the strength, you will have the resources. There's the pot of gold at the end of this for you. We have the infinity symbol here. So you are deserving of this breakthrough. You are deserving of this opportunity. You are deserving of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or wrap up, or whatever chapter you're hurtling towards. I use the word hurtling very deliberately because in the last 3 months of the year, you're going to feel like things are going really, really slow. The progress is going really slow, and yet somehow it's like, how can I put this? Okay, let's just say that you're hiking up a mountain and you think that the end is so much further away than it is, and it kind of feels like you're in the middle of it all and you're like, shit, I'm only halfway. And then you get to the top and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck, I'm here. Okay, so I feel as though it's going to feel like really, really burdensome, but then the struggle won't go for as long as you think. The process won't take as long as you think. Oh my God, the same card came out. Okay, I've got autumn, release the old, and rest. Okay, so did I pull that out in the first quarter or the second quarter? I know no one can answer me right now, and I know I'm not going to know until I watch this back. Anyway, whatever it is, somehow the last 3 months of the year is connecting to either the first quarter of the year or the second quarter of the year. Perhaps it's meant to be ambiguous because this is a general reading, but just know that whatever you're dealing with in the last 3 months of the year, it may be connected to either the first 3 months or the second 3 months. So the advice here is to not resist this change that's coming through. Okay, so with the obstacle, we've got judgment, which speaks about endings. And I've also got mountains, stand your ground, which is very interesting that I used the mountain analogy. And then I have elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Okay, so there will be a huge need for you to tap into your inner reserves of strength. This is the Leo card. Okay, so this speaks about it's not about pride, it's about being proud. What are you proud of? What are you trying to achieve? Where will this get you? You know, don't take into consideration what other people are saying about whatever you're encountering at the end of the year, because this is your time. This is for you. This is your moment. This is your fucking life. Okay? Just don't let other people deter you from whatever it is that you want to achieve. This card says clearing debts, okay? Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and avoid future ones as well. Okay, so the fact that we have clearing debts coming out, and you know, it's speaking to financial and emotional debts. For some of you, this is about not feeling indebted to other people, not feeling like you have to do what they want you to do because you owe them something, or because they're family, or because they're your partner, or whatever. This is about you going your own way and knowing that the only person that you owe in your life is yourself, and you owe yourself the chance to proceed along a path that you intuitively feel will lead you to happiness, fulfillment, and whatever your personal standards are when it comes to success. Maybe success for you is, you know, not having a mortgage anymore. Maybe success for you is getting up every day and not feeling emotionally drained or tired. With this card here, just circling back to permission, you need to give yourself permission to feel whatever it is that you are feeling, to experience whatever it is that you are experiencing, to go after whatever it is that you want to go after. No one is going to rock up to your house one day and say, hey, that person you want to ask out, I give you permission. Or that, you know, risky business venture that you want to proceed with, I'm giving you the green light for that. You are the master of your own destiny, and you need to give yourself the permission to be who you want to be and go after whatever it is that you want to go after. So group 1, that is your 2023 tarot predictions video. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to know how your astrological year is going to play out for 2023, you can purchase your yearly horoscope using the link in the description box below. I'm just going to ring these bells and cleanse the energy. This will be pretty loud. If you feel like you need to be cleansed after watching this video, you can hang around for the next few seconds. Thanks group 1, see you next time. Hi group 2, for those of you who chose the Star Child Tarot. I must confess to you that I almost never use this deck, and funnily enough, this was my first ever tarot deck, so it'll be interesting to reconnect with this deck. Even the fact that I don't use this deck tells me a lot about you guys as the viewer, and that is that you are ready to totally reinvent yourself and try something that you have never tried before, or to embark on a brand new journey. So you guys, more than any other pile, strike me as the ones who are going to make the biggest changes of your life in 2023. Before I get into it though, I am just going to pull an archetypes card. This is a catalyst card. Okay, interesting. I have the threshold coming through. All right, and I will read the description from the handbook in a moment. I'm also going to pull an animal card, an animal totem card. And I also wanted to draw your attention to the fact that this card says worthy. Okay, so this is all about you guys feeling worthy of whatever changes are going to be coming through for you in 2023. And I think that this will be a very big year for you with respect to self-love. And look at that, we've got the unicorn card. So I honestly feel so strongly that you guys are going to spend the year discovering your self-worth and actually embracing what makes you unique and what makes you quirky and eccentric and different and exciting. So the way I'm going to be structuring these readings is I'm going to pull a tarot card for blessings, and then one for an obstacle, then one for advice. And I'm going to be doing that for each quarter, so for each 3 months of the year. God, this is a heavy deck. I just haven't held it in so long. So, all right, blessing for the first quarter of the year. Holy shit, we've got the Tower. Obstacle, the Universe, and then we've got 6 of Crystals, which is the 6 of Pentacles for advice. Let's look at the second quarter of the year for the blessing that's coming through. Wow, I've got the Starseed, which is the Fool in this deck. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm not wrong about you guys. Like, there's so much change coming through. Then we've got the 7 of Swords when it comes to the obstacle. That card was reversed. This is such a beautiful deck. I just don't even know why I don't use it more. Maybe I'll start for the third. Okay, the third quarter, we've got King of Crystals, which is King of Pentacles in the blessings position. The obstacle is Temperance reversed, and advice for that month. The Death card reversed. No, that's the Oppression. So that's the Devil reversed, which is good. And then I'm just going to do the last ones. So blessings for the end of the year, we've got King of Swords. And for the obstacle, we've got Page of Cups. And then advice is 5 of Cups. Okay, so underneath the deck, I have the 6 of Swords reversed. So I do feel like there is a lot of natural resistance that's coming through for you with respect to, you know, really going for it with these big changes and reinventing your whole persona, life, self, whatever you want to call it. First month of the year. Wow. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I think that came out for group 1. If you guys have been considering looking at group 2 of the same cards that came out in group 1 have come out in group 2. So I would advise you to go and have a look at group 1 as well and see if you connect to the energies of that reading. Anyway, so I'm going to go through month by month, but before I do that, I just want to look at this karmic soul lesson for you for 2023. And I'm going to pull another oracle. All right, this card says create boundaries. So that is going to be a major theme for you for this year. And then okay, this card keeps falling over, so I'm going to read that one straight away. But let's just see. All right, we had 2 cards come out here. So we've got Remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions, and Gaia, wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual understanding. So this year will very much be about you making sense of why everything in your life has happened the way that it has happened, why you're in this position, why you are needing to make these big changes in your life. It's honestly just coming to peace with where you're at and where you're going, and just not having any regrets and not looking back. Okay, so the unicorn card is connected to, let me tell you which chakra, the 6th chakra. Okay, so that is your third eye. I just went blank for a moment. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from, and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power, and our mind hesitates between yes, no, or maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for answers. I'm just going to read the additional message. I know this is long, but it just seems right. It's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides at the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the Ajna chakra, or command center. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our two eyes see the past and present, while this third eye peers into the future. Wow. So straight off the bat, I feel like you guys have been getting very strong premonitions and intuitive downloads about what the next year holds in store for you. And I also feel as though there is a lot of hesitation and trepidation with that as well. With the threshold card, this makes me feel like you guys can see what's ahead. Not in its entirety, but there's just like this feeling of knowing that next year is a year that everything changes for you. I just feel so excited, like when I tap into this energy. I also feel nervous and a bit scared. I feel as though there are a lot of twists and turns in store for you guys for 2023. And I do not say that to freak you out at all. I don't think it is something that you should freak out about. But I do get the sense of this, this feeling of like your life is about to like crack wide open. Like there are so many exciting opportunities coming for you guys. So let's get into it. You know, we're 8 or 9 minutes in and haven't even shown you the tarot cards. So the blessing that's coming through is the Tower. Okay, so this card, I mean, this is one of my favorite Tower cards, if I'm honest. We've got what appears to be the sun and the moon up here on either side. We've got a woman sitting here at the front of a closed door, and we've got lightning coming down. Okay, so what's interesting is that she's not running for cover. She's perfectly still. So to me, somehow this represents the eye of the storm. Just remember that this is coming through in the blessings position. So I feel as though and this is for the first quarter of the year, okay? So January, February, March. I feel as though there's so much that's going to be going on around you in your external environment. I feel like other people's worlds may be, I don't want to say crashing down, but it just feels like there are a lot of dramatic things happening around you to other people, but you're sitting in the eye of the storm where somehow this is a blessing for you. You're sheltered from the chaos that is ensuing around you. I know this sounds very dramatic, but just remember this is in the blessings position. Despite the fact that other things are happening to, let's say, family or loved ones in your life, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, there is some kind of foundation that is breaking apart in your own life. So let's just see what that is. We've got the 7th house, Capricorn, and the South Node. So this may be walking away from a relationship, a friendship, a contract, a marriage. This could be walking away from some kind of promise or obligation that you made to another person. And by the way, I just want to say that you would be the protagonist here. You would be the instigator. I really don't think that this represents, let's say, the breakdown of a relationship that is instigated by the other person. I get the feeling that this is coming from you. Okay, so this, if you're hearing this and you're like, oh no, like I don't want my relationship to end, that may not be you then. If you are not the one ending it, then it's probably another area of your life where this big change is coming through. I'm just going to get some advice from these cards on this matter. Okay, I've got the Hermit, retreat and recharge. First of all, some of you may be Virgo sun, moon, or risings. You don't have to be. But you will need your strength for this. And also in the obstacle position, I have the universe, which is the world in this particular deck. So wow. Okay, these two figures are sitting in the exact same position. And you can see that they're just totally calm, totally unfazed. So, oh wow. And we, sorry. See the lines here? And then we've got these lines here as well. There's so much mirroring coming out in these images where it's just like, I feel as though something divinely guided is coming through for you in your life in the first 3 months of the year. And it will be your obstacle in that first quarter to remain calm, to accept the change that is coming through without question or without resistance. Because I have the Gaia card here, which says wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual understanding, I get a very strong sense that you guys are very advanced spiritually and quite emotionally connected or emotionally tapped into the spiritual, the divine, and your own emotions. So with the create boundaries card here, for some of you, this is the erecting of these boundaries, and for others of you, this is tearing those down so that you can pursue a path that is more in alignment for you. I'm just going to read the threshold description. So I'm just looking for the number. Okay, the door, the gate, the initiation. We cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one. However, you have arrived at the threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step toward the future that calls you. When light, growth, individuation is in the liminal. When dark, resisting, refusal to grow, barriers and boundaries. interesting that we have that that repetition there with talking about boundaries. So first of all, I just want to say, I don't want you guys to freak out, because as I'm reading this energy, I can already feel that some of you will be freaking out. This is a much needed step in a new direction. What I love about this card's description is that it emphasizes just taking that one step. And I honestly, truly feel that that first step will be the hardest, and everything will just get easier and easier from then on. So it's all about plucking up the courage to do what needs to be done. In terms of the advice that's coming through, we've got the Six of Pentacles card, Six of Crystals in this deck. Okay, so see how there is a circle around her head with all of these, what appears to be mini moons. I really feel as though this coming through in the advice section, that you have these little orbs around you, and these are like your spirit guides coming through to help you, to guide you. And as long as you, at every point of the way, ask yourself, what action can I take from a place of love that will serve the best and highest good of all, you won't put a foot wrong, you won't put a step wrong. Not that I believe in mistakes anyway, but there is definitely a way to navigate this huge change in your life without regrets, or without feeling like you could have done things differently. Okay, this says abundance mindset. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something you already have in the present moment, and that is what you will experience. Okay, so it's extremely important that during this process, during January, February, and March, that you don't perceive the situation as something that is far away from you, because as you take the first step and each subsequent step, you are stepping into this realm of abundance. So it's not about getting from A to B. It's about understanding that as soon as you take the first step, you're already at destination B, even if the imagery hasn't caught up to you just yet. I hope that that makes sense. So this card says full moon in Pisces, balance spirituality and practicality. So it is extremely important that you meditate, but you also ground yourself and take whatever practical steps you need to take in order to enact this change. So for the second quarter of the year, which is April, May, and June, the blessing that's coming through is the Starseed. So this is the full card in this particular deck. This is just so stunningly beautiful. I cannot even tell you how differently you're going to feel in April, specifically April, in comparison to January, February, and March. It just feels like wish fulfillment, a dream come true, freedom, the ability to go out and explore. And I just get this sense of independence and enlightenment and a sense of freedom that I honestly don't think you've ever experienced in your whole life. For some of you, this could be freedom from pain, suffering, a relationship, oppressive family members, or a living situation which was burdensome for you. Maybe some of you will actually be moving to a foreign country or going on a trip which is just completely life-changing. I'm going to roll my dice. Okay, I've got Libra, Moon, and the 4th house. So for some of you, this is very much connected to your living situation and that changing. With the Libra card and number 4 coming through, you may be starting a family. Someone may be moving in with you. You may be moving in with someone else. You may experience peace and harmony within your family or with a certain family member that you didn't even think was possible. Maybe you were arguing with a certain person and now you're just like letting it go. With the moon, the 4th house in Libra, this is also to do with your emotional balance and equilibrium. So I feel as though you will achieve a sense of emotional security that you have never felt in your whole life. And it's just like this total and utter confidence in yourself and that you are worthy of the life that you desire. So this card says worthy, so that's why I'm honing in on that. I'm going to pull another card for this block of time as well, so the 2nd quarter. This says forgive. Okay, so for some of you, you will be forgiving yourself, forgiving someone else. Someone that you thought would never forgive you may forgive you. You may find forgiveness in your heart, even if someone is out of reach in your life, whether they've passed on already, or whether you're in a no contact situation. Maybe you're forgiving your parents for certain things that occurred either in your childhood or just in terms of their treatment of you. Forgiveness really will be a core component of April, May, and June for you guys, especially with this full moon in Cancer card saying a personal issue reaches resolution. So family healing, acceptance of your family exactly as they are, regardless of who they are and what they've done. I just feel so much peace. Like, okay, I just want to bask in this energy for a moment. It just feels like anxiety is lifting away, that burdens are being removed off of your shoulders. If there is a very, very difficult and challenging situation that you've been worried about, especially for a lot of 2022, I feel like this will be falling away in that 3-month period of time. In the obstacles card position, I have the 7 of Swords being reversed. Okay, so the 7 of Swords speaks to deception, lies, deceit, sneaky behavior, holding things back. Because this card is reversed, it's like the obstacle or the challenge here is for you to speak your truth, especially if you're the kind of person who holds back due to pride. So I feel like there's this real moment of honesty and clarity that comes through. In the advice position, I have the 7 of Cups reversed. So to me, this is just like the removal of all doubt, the removal of all confusion with a very complicated situation. I'm just going to pull one of these cards. This card came out in the first pile as well, so I would really encourage you to go and watch group number 1 if you haven't watched it already. This says mountains. Stand your ground. Okay, you're knowing who you are, you're knowing your worth, you're knowing what you want to stand for, what's worth fighting for, what's worth waiting for. And this card also speaks to knowing that you and the boundaries that you set and the emotions that you're experiencing are completely valid. And it's like you're just becoming an immovable force emotionally, like when other people are trying to, let's say, bait you or get you to be pulled into their drama or into their situation. I just get this feeling of you being like, no, I'm okay. These are my boundaries. And that's that, you know, there's no fear in doing that anymore. Whereas previously that felt kind of like risky for you guys. So this says the power of prayer. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives you in response to your prayers. Okay, so any situation that you are concerned about, any niggles that are coming up, or any time where it's like maybe you feel nervous in asserting these boundaries or creating these boundaries. I mean, yes, obviously you can pray on it, but if you're not into prayer, you can speak to whoever guides you. You know, if you have a loved one on the other side, you might be like, Mum, please help me with this situation, or grandma, or whoever. You know, it doesn't have to be a family member. Maybe you work with deities, or Archangel Michael, God, Spirit, the universe, the Divine Mother, Mother Mary, Allah, Ganesh, like whoever brings you that peace and comfort. Call on them for help. And there is a saying called give it to God, but I'm just going to say give it to insert whoever is important to you, and this person will help you. Like, they will. And you may even be shocked that somehow you just feel better when you ask for assistance from them. So that's the second quarter of the year. I'm now going to look at July, August, and September. I'm just going to feed these back into the deck. Okay, so for the third quarter of the year, July, August, and September, in the blessings position, I have the King of Crystals card, which is the King of Pentacles. In the obstacle position, I have Temperance reversed. And in the guidance, I have the Devil reversed. Although in this deck, it's called Oppression. I think I didn't really use this deck that much because some of the names were like not the same in the original tarot right away. And I was like, I'm confused, but you know, well, I'm experienced now. So with the blessing that's coming through, we've got the King of Crystals, so the King of Pentacles, which is amazing. This is to do with being business savvy, success, material abundance, financial wealth, prosperity, also like in a superficial way, luxury items, status, reputation, and so let's just see. Oh, okay, we've got Calling and we've got Believe. Interesting. So with these two cards coming out, I feel as though you will be called to take certain action when it comes to, let's say, work, career, a leadership position or position of responsibility. This card coming out in the blessings position tells me that you guys are leveling up in terms of your abundance, in terms of your finances. Even if you're not necessarily earning more money, somehow there is like this understanding of how to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest into your life. Also, I feel as though someone will be able to help you with resources if this is something that you are struggling with. This card says have courage. Have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as to give it to others as you are guided. Okay, so you may feel called to ask other people for help, business advice, help with maybe writing a resume, applying for another position. I really feel like any financial difficulties or issues, or even like an abundance, oh my God, sorry, some kids like screaming. Any issues that you've been experiencing with like your financial earning capacity, these are going to be clearing away during July, August, and September. Many of you will start earning more money, or there may be a new financial stream of income that you generate or that you develop. There may be an exciting new business opportunity for you. There may be some kind of windfall of abundance on an existing investment. And I mean, I'm just hearing in my head, money, money, money. So I just feel as though you'll be knowing your worth during July, August, and September. Some of you may be taking a job which pays better, but ultimately the King of Crystals or the King of Pentacles is someone who's just like at the absolute top of their game in a business sense. So I could also flesh this interpretation out to say that maybe you're achieving some kind of huge milestone or business goal of yours. You could receive a lot of recognition at your chosen workplace. So that's the blessing that's coming through. Yay. This card says meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So for some of you, it may be that the idea comes through during this 3-month period, and maybe you're like, this is a money-making idea, or this business venture is going to make me level up. It could take a little longer to see into fruition, but somehow it's like you're either coming into abundance and prosperity, you're receiving help or financial assistance from another person that's really needed, or you're having the ideas necessary for you to take things to the next level. So in terms of the obstacle in this situation, we've got Temperance being reversed. Okay, so to me this speaks of a lack of faith and a lack of patience, and so it's like you need to have faith that this is going to come through exactly when it's meant to come through. For some of you, it could be that it's like right at the end of September and you're like, what the fuck, Cailin? You told me July, August, September were going to be amazing. I didn't say it's going to be amazing from the 1st of July, guys. So I actually feel as though you will go through a period of a loss of faith before you get to the blessing that comes through. So in your darkest hour, you may lose all faith and all hope with a situation which is connected to work, career, finances, abundance, affordability of something, career trajectory, life path, passion, etc. But then, you know, spirit comes through with the goods. So this card says dream and journey. All right. So it is important to understand that you've got to have the dream, which is the vision, or at least the desire, even if you don't have it all mapped out. And it's like dreaming, it's not enough. You do have to go on the journey. And I'm hearing hero's journey. So it's almost like, I keep seeing like Frodo, which I mentioned in one of my other tarot readings. So maybe you're into Lord of the Rings. I'm also seeing Harry Potter. So maybe you're into that too. Or some kind of like fantasy adventure situation. It kind of feels like this is a very mystical month for you guys, where you're like, oh my God, like I can't believe that these opportunities are even real or even possible, but how the hell am I going to climb this mountain? How am I going to get there? So I've just rolled the dice, which are the 9th house, Neptune and Cancer. Okay, so the 9th house represents our vision for the future, our connection to faith, God, or whatever belief systems we have or that we uphold. It is a very spiritual house. It is a very religious house. With Neptune here, this also speaks to your fantasies, your dreams. And then we've got Cancer, which talks about your living situation, family life. Cancer is connected to nurturing, nourishment, emotional security. So it's, to me, this 3-month period, you will be actualizing something that is, or realizing something that is extremely dear to your heart, even if it's somehow connected to your material situation or your financial situation. And this is about believing in your dreams and believing in the impossible. So with the advice card being the Devil reversed, I want to emphasize this so strongly to you guys. Obstacles and blockages are being removed. Okay, whatever obstacle or blockage you do encounter in July, August, and September, you will be able to overcome it. The only thing that could possibly get in your way is you self-sabotaging it. Okay, so this is almost unfuck-upable, but because this is a general reading, I mean, obviously, you know, take the situation as it applies, but any external obstacles that you encounter, whether these are people, places, things getting in your way, just remember that 1, they can be overcome, and 2, rejection is the universe's way of course correction. Okay, so if one path or avenue is blocked, you can either come it or go around a different way, especially if you're like right at the tail end of achieving something monumental. So 2 cards have come out here. This says detox your friendships. interesting. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time, so be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. And then we have donations, tithing, and charitable work. I'm not going to read out the whole card, but ultimately this... Oh, I already pulled these cards for this segment. God, I guess I've been talking for a while. Anyway, first things first, anyone that you have in mind that you can ask for help or assistance financially or with resources, go with that first gut instinct. They will be able to help you. Now that I've had two cards come out which are kind of mirroring each other, this indicates to me that you will need someone's help in the month of July, August, and September. Financial, material, work connection, business connection, just picking someone's brain. Maybe someone's going to help you find a property or relocate. With the detox your friendships, I feel as though that there is at least one person in your life who is kind of poo-pooing your ideas or raining on your parade, or kind of like wanting to not sabotage you, but just encourage you to take things in a different direction, or they're being like, no, that's not really a good idea, like you should reassess. And I would just say, don't listen to them. So now let's move on to October, November, and December. So this is for the third quarter of 2023. In the blessings position, I've got the King of Swords. In the obstacle position, I've got the Page of Cups. And then in the advice, I've got the Five of Cups. So it's very interesting that in the third and fourth quarter, in the blessings position, I have two kings. For the third quarter, it was the King of Pentacles. For the fourth quarter, it is the King of Swords. You may be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or this particular quarter, I feel as though you'll just be having like an abundance of ideas and receiving a lot of clarity about certain situations. And I know we talked about that earlier in the year, but nevertheless, with the King of Swords, this represents acting with a fair and just hand or approach. So because Page of Cups is coming up in the obstacle position or the resistance position, somehow I feel like someone is coming at you from an emotional or manipulative point of view, but you know what the right and just action is to take. And I'm hearing measure twice, cut once. So this is about being extremely clear and effective in your communication, so that you only have to have this difficult conversation one time. So there really will be a need for you to choose your words really wisely and carefully. With the Five of Cups being the advice, somehow there's a situation that you may have to let go of in order for you to access the silver lining. So I'm going to pull some more cards and roll my dice. Fourth house, Jupiter and Aries. Again, the fourth house is highlighted here, which speaks to your living situation and your family. And with Jupiter and Aries, to me, this is maybe connected to changing up your living situation in a way that is quite new or quite unexpected, or it's like you've never done this before. Maybe this is about you relocating somewhere and other people are like, no, why are you moving there? Or why are you moving in with this person? For others of you, this could actually be connected to starting a family or going separate ways from a family member or from certain cultural or familial traditions. Even if your family members are not around, they're no longer alive, or you're not in contact, somehow there is a departure here from what you were raised to know or to believe and what you end up doing. Even though I feel like I'm kind of rambling at this point, I'm sure it's channeling, so hopefully that'll make sense, at least at the end of next year. 3 cards have come out. So what the hell? This card came out twice in Group 1's reading. You guys better go watch Group 1, I swear to God. This says autumn, release the old and rest. So something is definitely coming to a close here. This says confidence is your key to success. And then we've also got High Priestess, harness mystic power, as well as Lord, take charge with authority. Okay, so Look at this, black cat and a crow or raven. That's a crow. Fun fact, one of the differences between crows and ravens are that ravens have a larger wingspan. If you want to, anyway, I'm not going to go into it. I like birds. So here we've got two of the most mystical animals, you know, that are associated with the occult. The crow or the raven being associated with occult power and messages from other realms or from beyond the grave, and then the black cat, which is very feared in certain circles, and obviously black cats are associated with witches, which, you know, I've got no problem with that. But for you guys, it's almost like you're having to honor your inner knowing. You're having to honor the intuitive guidance and messages that you are receiving from your loved ones on the other side, or from your spirit guides, or even just your inner self. And somehow this is at odds with what other people who proclaim to love you are saying that you should do. Okay, so Lord, take charge with authority. Somehow this action or this direction that you want to take is not the popular direction. You may even feel like this is not the direction that you even initially wanted to go in. But I just want to circle back to the threshold card, where it's like you're on the precipice of reinventing yourself and changing your life, and for the better at that. And in doing so, difficult decisions are going to need to be made. So I'm just going to pull one more card for the last quarter of the year. Windfall of abundance. This card has two deer, a rabbit, and a squirrel. Okay, so deer represent a need for a gentle approach, and with the squirrel, somehow this is like saving for your future. You know, squirreling whatever you can away so that you have the resources necessary to do what needs to be done. On one hand, this does feel financial in a way that maybe you're making some kind of big financial decision in the last quarter of the year. But for others of you, this is simply squirreling away your emotional strength and not explaining yourself to people who don't require an explanation from you. So just be really guarded when it comes to how much of your time and energy you are putting into explaining your actions to other people. Reading this, it says, an increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms. What did I tell you guys? That's what I told you. Some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life, purpose, health, and charitable work. Also, I'm suddenly noticing, which, I mean, it's very obvious, but we've got Santa here. So to me, the windfall of abundance is going to be a lot closer to Christmas time rather than October or November. It may even come through on Christmas, or, you know, right before the end of the year. So let's say right before New Year's Day in 2024. So I hope you enjoyed your reading, group 2. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. I do have my 2023 yearly horoscopes available for sale, like I mentioned earlier. So if you want to purchase yours for your sun, moon, or ascendant, or all of them, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description box below. Before I go, I am just going to ring these bells to cleanse the energy. You can stick around if you feel like you need a little bit of a cleansing, but just turn your volume down because this will be loud. Thanks, group 2, and I'll see you guys next time. Hi, group 3, for those of you who chose the Crow Tarot deck, or perhaps you made your choice based on this blue little guy over here. Now, before I get into it, I am just going to pull a Archetypes Wild Unknown card. So this is like your catalyst energy for the whole year. Sorry, this is from the previous group. Maybe you felt drawn to watch group number 2 as well. If so, go for it. All right, so this is for group number 2. This deck is so hard to shuffle. 3 cards came out. Okay. Wow. All right. Whew. So we've got the King. We've got Anima Mundi. By the way, this is the very last card in the whole deck, which has like 80 cards. And the third card is a bit scary. We've got the Venom. Okay, so straight off the bat, you guys are closing out some major cycles and chapters, or a major chapter in your life. I'm immediately drawn to the fact that this says number 12 here, Roman numerals. So it could even be a difficult last 12 years. For some of you, this may be 12 months. So 2022 could have been extremely difficult for you. And I just want to tell you guys that 2023, you're just going to be going on an enormous healing journey. With the Venom card, I feel as though there's a lot of toxicity in your life, whether this is people, places, or things. And I'm just seeing someone like suck out the venom from a snake bite. So in a way, I almost feel like you feel that you were infected with some kind of toxicity or negativity, which was draining you of your usually optimistic outlook on life or your optimistic disposition. So with Anima Mundi, I'm so saying this wrong, you can see that there is a star here. Okay, and in the center, I have, there are a lot of astrological symbols. Interestingly, we don't have all of the astrological symbols, but I'll just read out the ones that I can see. Pluto, Mars, Uranus, Jupiter, Mercury, the Moon, Neptune. Venus is covered, and so is Mars. They're partially covered here. I don't know if you can see that, but is this focusing? So that's Venus, which is covered. That's Mars, which is semi-covered. And what's also interesting is that the Sun is not here, and nor is Saturn. So, as an astrologer, I feel inclined to interpret this card astrologically. All right, so with the absence of Neptune and the absence of Saturn, with Neptune is here, beg your pardon. With the absence of Saturn, this represents that obstacles are being removed from your life and that blockages are being removed from your life. With Jupiter at the apex here, this is about expansion, soul growth. We've got part of fortune represented here, which indicates things happening in divine timing and in ways that are unknowable and unexpected from the offset. So with Venus and Mars being covered, I feel as though there is a very big focus for you in 2023 on relationships, sex, sensuality, sexuality, your ability to receive love and nourishment in your relationships, understanding your worth and what you want in a partnership or a relationship. And with Mars, this is to do with your ability to take action in a way that is supportive of your needs, especially as we have Sarah's down here, which is representative of this nourishment and this nurturing energy. So astrological lesson aside, the King here is just so powerful. In astrology, the King is represented by the Sun, which is missing from this card. So to me, this is you finding your life purpose, your soul's calling, rising to positions of power, leadership, respect. This is about self-respect. This is about creating your own kingdom. This, on one hand, this looks like a seal, like a wax seal, but on the other hand, it looks like a pomegranate. So somehow writing could be important to you. With the pomegranate, this is representative of spiritual knowledge and the story of Persephone and Hades. So that may be something which is significant to you in the sense that maybe you felt like you were dragged down to the underworld or down to hell, and now you're coming back out of that. And we've just got this beautiful first, second, and third chakra being activated here, which is the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra. So there's a very big focus for you on confidence, sexuality, financial security, and joy, following your bliss. So let's pull an animal card. I've got the bee. Okay, so this is about finding out what you are sweet for, what you love, finding the joy in life again, feeling like, you know, there's something to live for. Bees are associated with teamwork as well. I'm hearing the word queen bee. So for some of you, you may feel like you're finding your queen, because I've got the king and the queen here. You know, we don't have to talk about gender. Obviously, this is a general reading. So you could say that I could interpret this, I should say, as you finding your divine counterpart, someone who matches your energy. And with this card here saying surrender, I feel like this is all to do with divine timing and understanding that you don't need to know how, you don't need to know when. All you need to do is surrender to the fact that this is possible for you. Okay, so I'm now going to shuffle the cards, and then I'm going to circle back and read the king and the bee. Actually, to keep it interesting, I'm going to read the king first. And then I'm going to shuffle the cards. So the king, the ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king presides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you toward peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego, yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom, when light, benevolence, divine leadership, service, and nobility. When dark, oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. Okay, so I want to deliver this message gently to you guys because it might be a little bit hard to hear, but I really feel like you guys are my control freak group. That didn't come out gently at all. Sorry. I'm a control freak too. Here's the tough part, the tough pill to swallow. I feel as though you guys may have been previously operating from a place of trying to impose your will or your belief systems onto other people because the knowledge that you do have or that you thought that you had is what made you feel powerful, and yet I feel as though this kind of backfired. And looking at the bee, I almost feel like people kind of stung you in their responses to you projecting your views onto them. This is, you know, not to cast any kind of shade at you guys. It's just that this is part of your journey for 2023, and understanding that in order for you to be stepping into your king energy, regardless of, you know, how you identify, what gender you are, it's about trusting other people to make their own decisions and showing them the respect that you would like to receive in turn. So that may be, I mean, this message may not resonate for all of you, but I just wanted to deliver it just in case. So let's have a look at a blessing, an obstacle, and advice for each of the 4 quarters of 2023. So blessing for the first quarter of the year, the Devil reversed, love to see it. Obstacle, 6 of Pentacles reversed. Advice, 2 cards have come out. 5 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so for this second quarter blessing. Gosh, I'm having a lot of cards come out. Five of Swords, Page of Wands, obstacle. I'm just like obviously not shuffling good because all these additional cards are coming out. In the obstacle, I've got Death and the Eight of Pentacles. Advice, Knight of Swords, and let's have a look at the third quarter. Just bear with me, guys. Blessing. Oh, got the Temperance card. Obstacle, Nine of Swords, and advice, Knight of Wands, and the fourth quarter blessing, the Fool. That's good. Like to see that. Obstacle, Four of Wands reversed, and advice, Judgment. Okay, so now I'm going to read the bee. I love bees. Bees may be like a symbol for you, like a spiritual sign or a sign from, let's say, your loved one on the other side. They are for me, so that's why I mention it. The bee, earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work, then they gripe and then sting. When in balance, content, active and vibrant. When out of balance, overworked and annoyed. To bring into balance, mini vacation. Okay, so with this bee energy, it just feels very symbolic for you guys, especially in the sense that it's so important for you to have things in your life that bring you joy and bring you happiness. I just keep hearing the sweetness of life. For some of you, well, actually, I think for most of you, this year will be extremely productive with like a bunch of different projects or people that you're working with or collaborating with. It just feels like you're overcoming this desire to, you know, kind of assert your ego or put that out, and you're becoming more of a team player. I'm just hearing listen more and talk less. So that could be something that you're focusing on for this year. I'm a big talker, so like, again, no shade. I'm just going to pull a card for each quarter. Okay, so let's talk about the first quarter of the year. So in the blessings position, I have the Devil card reversed. This is just such good news for you guys. I feel as though that feeling of fighting an uphill battle, it's like you're leveling out and things aren't as difficult anymore. I think that things have been really, really challenging and tough for you guys, especially in the last 12 months. But again, I want to highlight that the last 12 years could be significant for some of you, especially if you have natal Jupiter in Aries or Jupiter in Taurus. Now, in terms of your soul lesson for this year, the karmic lesson that you're dealing with or facing, I have relieve anxiety. Okay, so there is, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I definitely get a very anxious feeling from you guys. It's okay, you know, we are all operating on a different spectrum of anxiousness, but I feel as though you guys either have a naturally anxious temperament or disposition, or maybe you've been feeling restless and impatient about change coming through. Because this is coming through as like your soul lesson or karmic lesson for 2023, and it specifically says relieve anxiety. I really feel like you're not going to be feeling anywhere near as anxious as you have been in previous years, and especially, you know, there'll be an enormous difference between 2022 and 2023. So even though that comes through as like a karmic lesson or a soul lesson, it's obviously an enormous blessing for you. This is absolutely amazing, but I've had the same card come out as group number 1, and this is the Temptress: seduction, deceit, and a broken promise. So some of you may feel inclined to watch group 1 as well as this group. If that's the case, go for it. There's definitely going to be some overlap here. Anyway, I digress. So with the first quarter of the year, January, February, March, obstacles are lifting, blockages are lifting, things are either getting easier, or if they're not getting easier, they seem easier to deal with, or your coping mechanisms are better and they're starting to work for you. With the obstacle, I've got the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So to me, this is like, you know, feeling like, I'm going to roll my dice because I'm getting some conflicting energy here. Yeah, it is finances. So Neptune, Scorpio, and the 2nd house, it's like a feeling of, I'm doing all the right things. I'm trying really hard. Like, why is my financial situation not changing? Why am I not earning more money? Or where the hell is my money going? Especially with Neptune in the 2nd house, it's like things that are dissipating. And with the Scorpio energy, maybe this is because you owe people money, or maybe this is because you just have what I just got from this was like certain addictions or bad habits where it's like either you're spending money on things that you wish you wouldn't spend money on anymore. For some of you, I mean, this is a general reading, but for some of you, this could be drugs or alcohol. For others of you, this is just bad habits, spending habits when it comes to money. And it's like there are lots of obstacles and blockages that are being lifted for you in the first quarter of the year, but it feels as though the financial side of things is the last habit to break, or the last difficult situation to fall away. I'm going to pull some cards for advice. I've got Earth Guardian: stay rooted and stay grounded. Okay, so also, I mean, this is amazing. This is new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. Taurus is a money card, you guys. It's a money sign. I'm a Taurus, so I should know. Your financial situation is changing. It's just that you won't physically see that change until certain things fall into place. So how can I put this? Let's just say that you have some kind of debt. All right, let's just say it's a credit card debt. Now, even though you may not pay off the credit card in the time frame that you want, it doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job if your repayments to that credit card are more significant than they have been in the past, or if the amount of debt that you're in is lessened. This is still progress, despite whether or not you have the finances that you want. There is a need to shift your perspective with the 3 of Pentacles reversed and with the 5 of Wands, because I feel as though you guys are working against yourselves in the sense that you're making this harder than it needs to be. And by that, it's like you don't need to beat yourself up for, you know, money that's already gone or already spent, or financial or material decisions that you made where it's like it's too late. If you've made a decision, let's say financially or materially, or honestly any kind of decision which has impacted your physical circumstances and surroundings, and it's too late to change it, let that shit go. Let it go, okay? You can't change the past, and you focusing your energy on things that you wish you had done differently is actually making you more anxious and honestly lessening your energetic reserves when it comes to you needing to do what is done going forward. So this card, guys, I'm so right. This says release resentments about money. Okay. Yes, the money system of the world can seem upsetting, but holding resentments about finances just pushes your abundance away. Instead, see money as a tool you can use to better the world, and this shift will help you attract support and golden opportunities. Okay, so it's so important for you to just stay in your lane and focus on what you can do. Underneath the deck, this says let go of guilt. So again, this is to do with financial decisions. Things are going to improve for you guys, but the longer that you dwell in the past and ruminate on, you know, actions that you cannot undo anymore, or that you were never able to undo, the slower it's going to take you to get to where you need to go. So I want to circle back to the blessings. Prosperity lies ahead. Your financial situation is improving. It will change. This can be receiving more support, earning more money, finding a way to earn money in a new and different way, finding resources in unexpected places, having a better mindset about finances and money. And, you know, I just want to share like a couple of random things with you guys. And this is not necessarily financial, but this just goes to show that karma does exist and that miracles do happen, even though I'm using miracle in like a very grand way for something small. Anyway, I digress. So, was it this year? Yeah, this year I have received gifts from people who I still don't know who they are. And honestly, the amount of generosity that people have shown me when I have not asked for it or looked for it, or it's just come out of the blue, like it just amazes me. You know, for example, I've had people donate money to my PayPal, and it's like they're not looking for a shout out or anything. Like I can't even send this person or these people a message to say thank you. So it's like this energy of there are people out there who care. They want to help. They want to be generous with you. And maybe, you know, they're not chucking dollars into your bank account, but maybe they're helping you in other ways and sharing their resources in other ways. And once you start to recognize the support that exists out there, whether this is, you know, spirit, God, the universe, your loved ones on the other side, friends, family, or literal strangers, this is going to elevate your level of receptivity to abundance and material prosperity and wealth to a whole new level. And, you know, it's not even just the PayPal stuff. Like I've had, I had a friend email me like probably 50 resources worth of like astrological information, like PDFs, ancient astrology text, etc. And that was just like an email that came out of the blue. People donating artwork to me. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh guys, like look at me, I'm amazing or whatever. I'm just trying to say that unexpected acts of generosity and coming into resources is possible, and you just need to be open to this coming through in ways that you can't even expect or anticipate. But there also needs to be a willingness to receive as well, and not have like this, you know, I'm going to do it all by myself kind of attitude. So now let's have a look at the second quarter of the year. I need a sip of water. I can't believe these are all like 45 minutes each. Hopefully I have my voice tomorrow, but if not, whatever. Okay, so for, sorry, I've like spread out all my cards like in a really weird way. Oh yeah, I see, sorry. So for April, May and June, the blessing that's coming through is Page of Wands, reversed. Okay, so the Page of Wands always speaks to divine timing. And this tells me that you guys are going to experience a setback, a delay or disappointment with the timing of a situation that will turn out to be a blessing in disguise. So maybe there are certain hopes or dreams that you have for April, May or June, or there's like a deadline that you wanted to meet, or you thought something was going to come through at a certain point in time and it will not. And I just really, really want to emphasize that this is for your best and highest good. This is not a mistake. I don't want to put too many projections onto what it may be, but what the hell, I'll roll the dice and see. Okay, 5th house, Scorpio and Pluto. So for some of you, this could be to do with a creative project, a passion, a hobby, starting your own business or your existing business. This could be to do with children, your child if you already have children, starting a family. This could be to do with romance and dating. So I just get this energy of disappointment that things didn't happen on your predetermined timeline. But again, this is a blessing for you guys. Let me just see in what way this will turn out to be a blessing. Ooh, this says manifest. Okay, great. So this tells me that whatever you're trying to manifest, if it doesn't work the first time or in the way that you want, it's because something bigger and better is coming along, or the time frame that is going to ensue will be more favorable to you and your needs and be more aligned with your higher self. This card says White Witch, be the light. So we've got an owl and we've got a butterfly. First of all, owls and butterflies may be important to you. They don't have to be. These look like blueberries as well. So I'm just pointing these out in case these things are significant to you. But because this specifically says White Witch, be the light, this is about divine knowledge and wisdom, especially with the owl coming through. So in due time or due course, you will understand why things didn't happen exactly when you wanted them to. I just noticed that I pulled this card earlier, which says the new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. So something which may seem to be unlucky will actually be incredibly fortunate for you guys sometime in April, May, or June. In terms of the obstacle position, we've got... I'm sorry, I pulled 5 cards accidentally instead of 3 cards. I'm trying to remember which was which. I'm going to group this actually with the blessing. So this is the 5 of Swords. So to me, this is like a miscommunication could work out in your favor, or someone not receiving a text or a message that you sent, or a conversation being misconstrued, a conflictual situation. Why did I pronounce it like that? A conflictual situation, or an argument, or even just like a minor disagreement that you're really bummed about during this 3-month period could somehow work out for your benefit. For example, this person, although maybe momentarily offended, could take what you say away and then ruminate on this and make a lot of changes because of your words or because of this important discussion or correspondence. So somehow a conflictual situation which is irritating to begin with will definitely work out in your favor. In terms of the obstacle position, we have the Death card, which is also connected to rebirth and resurrection, as well as the 8 of Pentacles. So to me, this indicates that you're going to have to go away and work at something, or you're going to have to let go of a certain situation, and there may be some regrets or disappointment there when it comes to walking away from said situation, but somehow this is going to lead to incredible clarity, because we've got the Knight of Swords in the advice position for for the second quarter. So this card came out in group 2, so you may be inclined to watch group 2. I know I said you may want to watch group 1, but if group 2 called for you and not group 1, or if they both did, feel free to go ahead and watch that. This says windfall of abundance. An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving, what was I saying? And know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. So because we've got Santa here, hey Santa, make a wish, and whatever it is that you guys are wanting to manifest or bring into fruition, I feel as though December is somehow going to be connected to whatever's happening in April, May, or June. All of a sudden, I'm just hearing like a false start when it comes to a relationship. So if some of you are wanting to start a relationship around this time and you're finding that, you know, the other person is not on the same page, or even if you met someone and it doesn't work out, somehow I feel like we'll be circling back around to this in December. So somehow the events of April, May, and or June will directly correlate to what comes through in December. For others of you, this could be to do with a financial situation or with a work situation or with a living situation. Okay, so that is May, June, July. Now let's have a look at the energy of the third quarter of the year, which is July, August, September. Please don't ask me why I'm so bad at like understanding the third quarter. I just get really confused on that one. The blessing that's coming through is Temperance, which is just absolutely so stunning, so beautiful. I feel as though incredible spiritual knowledge and information will be coming to you, and I honestly just see you making sense of your whole life and just being like, oh my God, like this is why this had to happen in this way. Temperance represents alchemy as well. So I feel like relationship wise, if there's been any discord with anyone, you know, friends, family, romantic interest, etc., this is about getting onto the same page. And I'm also getting the energy of forgiveness for the third quarter. I am going to pull one of these little mini cards, which is so difficult to shuffle. Okay, so 2 cards came out. One says grateful, one says abundant. Okay, so this is gratefulness. Gratefulness for the generosity that's been shown to you. Gratefulness for the awareness of opportunities that are on your horizon or in your peripheral, even if you have not taken these up with both hands, or even if they haven't fully manifested into your life, somehow you're just going to be feeling so abundant and grateful. This card has come out 3 piles in a row. Autumn, release the old and rest. I'm shook. Yeah, you guys are probably going to go and watch groups 1 and 2 as well. I'll be beyond shocked if this comes out in the 4th pile. Because you chose the Crow Tarot, and I have a crow here, for you guys especially, I'm actually going to read the description from the handbook. FYI, this deck is by Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. And oh, there's a crow here, there's an owl, there's a deer, there's a, is that a panther? I was going to say jaguar, but I'm like, no, panthers are black. Okay, jaguars are not. So let's have a look at autumn. This is so beautiful. I don't know, somehow I feel like the message I'm about to read is going to be really, really significant for you guys. Autumn, release the old and rest. Release all of the pressure and expectation weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover before moving into a time of renewal. Autumn is when the trees are preparing for the long, cold winter and must let go of all the weight they are carrying in order to grow and prosper. Sometimes you too just have to surrender an aspect of yourself in order to continue to grow and prosper, which is interesting because you guys chose the deck which had the surrender card on it. Is that focusing? I can't tell. I don't know. I didn't think my eyesight was like... Anyway, whatever. The Raven on the autumn card. Oh my God. I was saying that this was a crow before, and I was so like certain about that. It's a raven, clearly. The raven on the autumn card shows that there is an opportunity to heal at this time. In Celtic animal medicine, the raven is the bird of healing and initiation. The healing it brings is a shift that allows you to move into a more powerful psychic space where you can be more aware of your needs and desires and be better supported. You know what is heavy, what is holding you back. Is it a person, a situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go of their leaves and fruit in the autumn, it's time to let it go. When you hold on, you try to control reality, and that never works. When you let go, you make space for the new to enter your life. You are being guided by your angels and nature herself to release whatever is stopping you from moving forward, and you can do this. When the autumn card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card in a reading, it can also indicate that the coming autumn will usher in important energies with regard to your question or intentions. Okay, so I do think that autumn will be very significant for you, depending where you live in the world. The third quarter may be autumn for you guys. If you live in Australia, you know, you could be looking at autumn of 2024, given that I've pulled this card during the third quarter of 2023. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, as far as a blessing is concerned, you know, we've got this divine timing and understanding of why things are the way that they are. And there's also just this like acceptance that comes through of needing to let go of certain things so that other things can be welcomed into your life. I have your commitment is being tested, and the card is reversed. So I do feel like there is some kind of resistance from you guys. With the obstacle card, I have the Nine of Swords, which often speaks about staying up late at night, being anxious, overthinking things. So it's interesting because these two cards could not be more opposite in energy. Temperance is about trusting in faith, trusting in the divine, your guardian angels looking out for you, and just an inner knowingness that everything is happening exactly as it is meant to and in divine timing. But then the Nine of Swords is just like that part of you that's still anxious, that part of you that is like, what if this opportunity is gone? Like, what if this is not going to swing back around in my favor? So the advice here is the Knight of Wands. Keep doing you, keep trusting in yourself. The Knight of Wands is very connected to passion, sexuality, ambition, and drive. So this is about moving forwards with that horse there, in spite of whatever is taking place around you, but knowing when to step back if this involves pushing another person before they are truly ready. So I'm going to roll the dice. I've got Moon, the 11th house, and Leo. So this 3-month period, it could be connected to friendships. It could be connected to a friendship with a female. This could be about your relationship with your older sibling. This could be about your future living situation or circumstances and the plans that you want to make for that. With Moon, the 11th house, and Leo coming through, this could be about you wanting to enter into the property market, or there could just be changes with, you know, this could also be scoping out what you want in terms of like family planning. Those are just a few things that I wanted to throw out there. I'm now inclined to read the Venom card, L6. I mean, why am I reading out loud? I'm like, anyway. Okay, so the Venom card by 6, I mean L10 and 3. So the poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe our carbon dioxide, and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Very interesting that, you know, we were talking about the bee stinging. Why did I close the book? Ugh. Okay. Maybe it's because you guys need to ponder that message a bit more. Anyway, Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. Which is interesting because I said forgiveness will be a big part of this quarter. When light, self-realization through suffering. When dark, unwillingness to find a solution or forgive. Okay, so this quarter, so the third quarter, will be very much about removing things from your life that are toxic and that are weighing you down. For some of you, this could be a friendship or a relationship. For others of you, this could be your tendency to lash out when you don't get your way or when you feel hurt by someone else. You may want to like give as good as you get. I'm just going to take one more card for the third quarter, and then we're going to move on to the end of the year energy. This says exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity that you'll look forward to exercising, and it becomes its own reward. Okay, so the first thing that is popping into my mind is if some of you have injuries and you've been waiting to, let's say, get back on the horse or get back into exercise, I really feel like you're going to be coming good and being able to start being physically active once again. For others of you, this is very positive encouragement and very strong encouragement to keep physically moving when you feel anxious. That does not mean that you should not sit down and be present with your thoughts and feelings, but if you are, let's say, just lying down every day in bed or on the couch and not moving for hours, and you're like, oh, I don't have the energy to exercise, actually going out and exercise is where you're going to get your energy from. So I'm just going to have a sip of water, and then I'm going to do the last quarter of the year. Okay, so let's have a look-see at October, November, December. First things first, you're very close to achieving your goal. Yay. Okay, so I just get this feeling of triumph when I look at these cards. We've got the Fool, which is the blessing that's coming through. In the obstacle position, I have the Four of Wands reversed. And then in the advice, I have the Judgment card. So group number 3, everything is coming together exactly as it should. And I actually feel as though the biggest change or the biggest blessing that will come through for you in the year of 2023 is coming through at the end of the year in the last quarter. So this could be a new relationship, a new house. This could be a new job. This could be starting a family. I mean, I'm just throwing out some heavy hitting things here, but for some of you, this is radical self-acceptance, forgiving yourself for past actions, letting go of pain and trauma, feeling deeply healed in certain ways, overcoming adversities. For some of you, there really will be a very positive turn in your health or perhaps in your mindset. I've got the 8th house, Aries and Venus, which is just beautiful. To me, this is like a new emotionally intimate relationship could be beginning. This could be with someone new. This could be with someone who you've wanted to get closer to. For those of you who are already in a relationship, there is a renewal of that energy, and I'm just hearing like the spark is reignited. And even if you know, you're not in a relationship or you don't enter into one at the end of the year, but that is something that you want to pursue or welcome into your life, I feel as though you will just be letting go of your fears of emotional intimacy. And for others of you, I feel like you'll be letting go of certain addictions. And I also, for those of you who are in a relationship as well, this roll of the dice is indicative of your partner earning more money or coming into money somehow. And this is also indicative of receiving support from other people. Sorry guys, I'm just about to run out of steam. I've been having a break in between each recording. So anyway, last quarter of the year, abundant. What did I just say? Okay, so you guys are coming into abundance. You are going to experience something that is divinely guided and something beautiful, something that you've been wanting to welcome into your life. So there's a huge blessing coming for you in the last month of the year. I've got winter. Take care of your needs. So I feel as though, I'm going to pull another card actually. I feel as though your needs will be taken care of, or at least one of your needs will be taken care of. And I've got protection, guardian. Drop your shields, protection, guardian. And she's got peacock feathers here. So peacocks may be important to you because she's got a shield and she's winged. I feel as though this is you guys coming into your own and showcasing who you are unapologetically as you take care of your needs with the lone wolf. For some of you, it doesn't say lone wolf, that just slipped out of my mouth. So for some of you, you may feel like you are going it alone, but this is necessary, and maybe you're stripping back people, places, or things that are no longer serving you, and there's a relief of carrying a burden or acting in a way that was only serving someone else. For others of you, I feel like you'll be finding your people, because you know, with wolf energy, there's two associations. One is the lone wolf and one is the wolf pack. So my camera cut out just as I was wrapping up your group. As I was saying, with the wolf card, there are two archetypes that exist with wolves. One is the lone wolf, the other is the wolf pack. So whatever it is that you require in your life, or whatever it is that you're wanting to call in, you will be able to achieve this. So for some of you, that may be support from loved ones, family, friends, starting your own family. For some of you, for others of you, this is like independence, going your own way and feeling confident in taking that action regardless of what anyone else is saying to you. So in terms of the obstacle, we do have the Four of Wands being reversed. So somehow there is some kind of disruption to your living situation or your family situation, your marriage perhaps, that is coming through. But this is, it's not a bad thing. You know, with the Fool, there's some kind of new energy coming through, whether this is a new start, a new chapter, a new relationship, new set of living circumstances, which I think I may have mentioned for one of the other groups as well. Ultimately, the resistance here is going against, let's say, cultural norms, family expectations, the expectations of your loved ones, or making some kind of life change which impacts your family, your living situation, your emotional foundations. But it's like your soul is calling this in with the advice. You can see this is the Judgment card. We've got Pluto here in the corner, and this bird is singing out. So Judgment is associated with reaping what we sow, but because this is coming through in the advice section, it's like this is necessary. This is what you have been craving. This is what your soul has been asking for. And for some of you, even though there may be a lot of excitement attached to this new start that is occurring in October, November, or December, I still get that hesitancy from you guys, or maybe this feeling of, is it too good to be true? So I've just rolled the dice. Oh my God, I got the Moon, okay, which does represent your living circumstances. So I've got Leo, the Moon, and the 9th house. So this is like, I'm just getting the energy of relationships and family ties and moving in a new direction. So there is something very exciting coming through for you guys, and it does feel very much relationship oriented in one way or another. This says peace. So this is achieving a state of inner peace or peace with certain family members. I'm going to also pull just one more card before we wrap up. I just feel like there's going to be a sense of peace before you start an exciting new chapter or journey. This says savings, okay? As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do yourself a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life's purpose. So I do feel that as you close out the year, there is some exciting and important turn of events which is connected to your financial situation, which will bring some kind of blessing into your life. Now, as I wrap up, I just want to read this final message, especially because it's truly the last card in the whole deck, right? Okay. The soul of the world, all that is. Anima mundi epitomizes the principle, accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. When light, tending to the sacred details of life. When dark, overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. As you close out the year, group 3, I feel as though you will be going out with a bang in a good way, where it's like you have a profound spiritual awakening, and I really feel like you'll just be letting go of so much baggage that you've been carrying around with you for the last year especially. But again, there's something, I want you guys to look back at what happened 12 years ago to see if there's a significant life event that impacted you in a way, and it could be for better or for worse. It does feel like there's a heaviness attached to it, and I feel like you'll be receiving a tremendous amount of healing from that point in time. So group 3, if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to purchase your 2023 yearly horoscopes, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description box below. I am going to ring my bells to cleanse the energy. If you want to stick around for that and get a good cleansing, I would turn your volume down because this will be pretty loud. Thanks group 3, and I'll see you guys next time. Hi group 4, for those of you who chose the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck by Matt Hughes. So, or maybe you chose this pile based on the orange turtle or the word inner wisdom. Before I get into it, I'm actually just going to shuffle my Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, which is incredibly difficult to shuffle, and I'm also going to pull an animal tarot deck, card. So this is like your catalyst energy, so the energy overall for the year. How many cards? No, I'm only going to take the one. So we have the ocean here. Okay, so straight off the bat, you guys, oh, look at this. Straight off the bat, this is going to be a year where you truly connect to your emotions. So let me read this out. Okay. The ocean, the unconscious, the depths, the incomprehensible. The power of the ocean is unmatched. To step into its salty waters is to step into the unknown. By its sheer volume, the ocean represents the unconscious, all that is beyond our understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our every attempt to dominate nature. Yet amid its overwhelming power, it calls to us, inspires us, and invigorates our life on land. It dissolves the little us into the big us. When the energy of the ocean is present, there is change stirring that is beyond any change you've known before. The ego must dissolve. The saline swells work in your very cells, your fibers, your deepest underlying beliefs. Like Aphrodite, we rise from the ocean's froth a new being. Life is change. Let the wave crash. When light, deeper than deep, big dreams, discovery. When dark, subsumed, drowned, polluted, unpredictable. Wow. Okay, heavy stuff. So you guys are definitely going to be connecting to your emotions and your deepest desires during 2023. I'm going to pull an animal card for you guys. Ooh, look at, guys, look at this. Honestly, this is just amazing. Like the amount of synchronicity here in the colors, the circles. This says the sea serpent, and this is the eye of protection. I got this in Greece actually. So, and this is an eye here too. So I feel as though you guys are going to be coming out of your shell a lot, emotionally speaking, and you'll be learning how to connect with your emotions and learning how to speak your truth. Blue will be a very important color for you. Just in terms of healing energy and connecting to your throat chakra. You may like the color blue. If not, you may want to go out and invest in some attire that is blue, because this is going to help you connect to your to your ability to speak your truth, essentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the cards. I am blocking this in the 4 quarters of the year, and I'm looking at a blessing and an obstacle and advice for each quarter. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards and get going. Okay, 10 of Wands reversed. That is the blessing for the first quarter of the year. The obstacle is Temperance. So let's see, advice. Death. Don't worry, doesn't mean you're dying. Second quarter of the year, blessing. 8 of Pentacles reversed. This is the obstacle. The 4 of Cups. The advice. I'm noticing that I really should not be shuffling and talking at the same time, because I don't know. Normally I'm a good multitasker, but not with that. Okay, blessing for the third quarter is the 4 of Pentacles, obstacle, 10 of Cups, advice, Queen of Wands. I'll show you these cards a bit later. Blessing, fourth quarter, 5 of Swords, obstacle, Star reversed, and the advice, 9 of Swords. Interesting. Interesting for that to be advice. Now I'm just kind of talking aloud, so you just have to deal with that. I'm just going to pull some oracle cards as well. Oh my god, this I just got a card that's come out in 2 of the other readings as well. Okay. I'm going to pull two more cards and I'm going to get into it. Obviously I could shuffle off camera, but I like to shuffle on camera because it feels more authentic, and like people will be like, oh my god, like I saw her shuffle, I know that wasn't a fluke. I didn't even shuffle that card, so anyway. 2 cards have come out. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I don't want to like freak you guys out, but if there is a loved one on the other side who you've been wanting to hear from, they are here. They are with you. The reason I'm saying that is because I have the Thinking of You card, which says a loving thought and serendipity. For others of you, I am interpreting this as a person who is on your mind, who you have romantic feelings towards, is also feeling the same. Okay. So take whichever message resonates for you. the soul lesson for this year is love your body. Okay, so that's the karmic lesson that you are going to be working on in 2023. So before I interpret the tarot, I just want to read the sea serpent description from the guidebook. Okay, so this says, healing emotional wounds and expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. The sea serpent and the second chakra. The subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the Svadhisthana chakra. Sorry, I've probably said that wrong. Located deep within the pelvic bowl, this chakra is known as our center of creativity and desire and is associated with the water element. Now I have to say the word again. Svadhisthana translates as in her own abode, indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother or Kundalini herself. Okay, so this is going to be a very creative year for you and one where you're getting in touch with your sensuality and sexuality. But let's just start off by looking at January, February, and March. Okay, so in the blessing position, I've got the 10 of Wands reversed, and in the obstacle, I have Temperance, okay, which I think Temperance has come out in almost every other pile. So if you felt drawn to one of the other piles, by all means, go ahead and watch it. With this blessing card and the 10 of Wands reversed, I see this as you finally being able to let go of certain burdens and responsibilities that you've been carrying all by yourself. When I tap into your energy, my heart just feels really heavy for you guys, and I know that it's been hard. I know it's been tough, and I feel like you guys are fighters. With the Temperance card here, all of a sudden I'm noticing this little eye. Okay, so I really just want to reassure you that you do have loved ones who are keeping an eye out for you. Even if you don't know anyone who's passed over, these individuals are ancestors who knew you before you were born. So if you had a special connection to, let's say, an ancestor that you never met, and you just have like a very like a profound interest in their life, or you just connect to part of their story or their history that you are aware of, or even if you have like some kind of totem or heirloom from them, just know that they are watching out over you. They're looking out over you. They're thinking of you. And they want you to know that you're not alone. They want you to know that you've never been alone. Even if you live alone, even if you don't have much contact with friends or family, or if you've only got a few friends, just know that you're not alone and you have so much help and support from the universe. If you actually knew how much people, or let's just say spirit over there, was working to try and get things moving in a favorable direction to you, you'd be beyond shocked. So with the Sun, the 11th house, and Leo, I want to tell you guys that things are looking up when it comes to January, February, and March. This is especially in relation to career, big goals, big dreams for the future. Because I have Leo and the Sun, and then also being in the 11th house, I feel like you're getting the recognition that you deserve, whether this is from friends, whether this is from your wider network. You may achieve some kind of career goal or objective. This can indicate that you're making new friends or expanding your network further. This can indicate starting up some kind of passive form of income. So financially, things could be, you know, moving up. I was going to say upwards and onwards, but you know what I mean. So with the obstacle being temperance, I feel like this is only a question of faith for you guys. And I also had Moonlight Goddess come through, repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. And as you can see, you know, both of these figures are angels. So this is about trusting in divine timing and divine intervention. I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well. In the advice card, the advice position, I've got the Death card. So this is about being comfortable with letting go of certain things that are no longer in alignment for you or to you. 2 cards have come out. I got the White Witch and Father Sky. Trust in the unknown and be the light. Okay, and then we've got lightning here and an eagle. So an eagle and an owl. So eagles, is that an eagle? Yeah, it's an eagle. Eagles or owls may be important to you somehow. In any case, I see this as the knowledge and information that you seek actually becoming available to you when you need it most. So if I had to say what the overall energy is for January, February, March, it's like you're closing out a chapter of loneliness and making new friends, or just feeling like you're more connected to people. So if you've been kind of in like a bit of a hermity phase of your life, I feel as though you are actually coming out of this. And let's just say you don't have a very big community as it is, and that's fine. January, February, and March will see you having opportunities to expand that further and to actually change that. So this card says receive. Okay, so this is about receiving support and honestly positive words of encouragement from the people who are in your life, who do love you. With this card saying the power of prayer, give this situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon divine guidance God gives to you in response to your prayers. So what I'm hearing clear as a bell is that your dreams or your wishes are being answered. Like they're being listened to, and they'll be answered as long as you're willing to, first of all, give the situation to God or Spirit or whoever, and then you have to be willing to receive this as well. With this card, excuse me, with this card saying hold to your vision, fixed moon, this tells me that your expectations are not too high. Your standards are not too high. What you're wanting, what you're wishing for is not unrealistic. Don't settle. Don't hold back. Don't feel like you're not worthy of what you desire just because you haven't reached a certain point in your life. It's simply not true. You guys are on the precipice of some kind of emotional breakthrough, and you're going through a healing journey, and it may feel like you're in the thick of it in the first quarter of the year, but I promise you, you're a lot closer to alleviating a lot of this pain and trauma than you could even possibly know right now. So in the blessings position, we've got the 8 of Pentacles being reversed. So the 8 of Pentacles talks about honing your skills, developing them further, becoming a master in one area or another. With this card being reversed, I feel like there is some kind of project or something that you've been working on that unexpectedly turns out in your favor. So it could be like you were trying to create something or work on something and you gave it up, and then maybe someone comes through with the resources that you need, or you suddenly have like the missing part of the puzzle and you're able to piece it together and finish a project that's very important to you. So I'm just going to pull an oracle card for this quarter. All right, I've got the She-Wolf. Unleash the wild within. Oof, okay. I don't know. I just had this like feeling of I don't know, I just suddenly feel more energized as I see this card. So automatically, I'm inclined to say that the first 3 months of the year may be more low vibes, low energy, still trying to like wade through the shit. And once you get to the second quarter of the year, I want to say May, not so much April. In May, you're going to start to feel more like yourself and have more energy and optimism and faith. And I feel like, you know, things are coming up Millhouse. Wow, this card says transformation. So I feel like an enormous transformation is taking place at the end of April. And then as you move into May and June, you know, you're going to be feeling amazing. So in terms of the obstacle, we've got the Four of Cups here. And when I've rolled the dice, I've got the 8th house, Sagittarius and Saturn. So the opportunity, and I'm using the word opportunity deliberately rather than obstacle. The opportunity is to see things differently, a different way of life. This is about letting go or releasing old belief systems which are no longer working for you. So this may come through as an obstacle because there's a natural resistance to keep thinking how we think and feeling how we feel without being open to change and newness. But this is actually a blessing in disguise, where even though there may be a challenging set of circumstances that arise, which when I say circumstances, it's more like I'm pointing at my head, but it's like your belief systems, like how you see the world, how you perceive the world, whether you see the glass half full or half empty, you know, your beliefs, whether these are political, spiritual, religious, whether these are to do with cultural matters or, you know, world matters. I just feel like there's a new way of life, a new way of seeing things that really, really wants to come through in the second quarter of the year, especially April, May, where it's just going to like tilt your whole perspective on its axes. So I just am drawn to show you this card again, which is Inner Wisdom. Your natural inner wisdom really wants to come through, and you're going to find that it contradicts your conscious beliefs. So there may be a bit of conflictual energy that you experience in the second quarter of the year. In terms of the advice, we've got the 10 of Swords card here. So this is like, you know, let things go that don't serve you anymore. Move through the pain. When I say pain, I do feel like this will be an emotionally turbulent time for you, but avoiding your feelings and avoiding the pain is not going to make it go away. And pain is a symptom of something else being the matter. Okay, pain is not the problem. Pain is representative of something being wrong or something that needs to be healed. So if you are feeling, you know, like there is some kind of emotional pain that you don't want to face in your life, just know that ignoring it doesn't mean that it's not there. Ignoring it means that you are just prolonging the healing journey. This says donations, tithing, and charitable work. So somehow I feel like there are going to be people who want to donate time, resources, or money to you. That sounds kind of transactional, but honestly, this is a time where you may need to lean on friends and family for support. This says a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So I think this card came out in, it might have even have been the last 3 groups. It's definitely at least 2 of the groups. So again, if you feel inclined to watch one of the other groups, go ahead and do so. Ultimately, the blessing that's coming through is a transformation when it comes to things that you've been working on for a really long time that just haven't been going your way. Now, I just want to hone in on this card, which I pulled earlier, which is representative of like your soul's lesson and the karmic lesson that you are trying to overcome or that you'll be going through during 2023. With this card saying love your body, this message feels really heavy. Honestly, group 4, your group more than every other group I feel is struggling with self-love and self-acceptance. And this isn't just your physical body. I feel as though this is every facet of who you are. And I get a very critical feeling from you guys, and this isn't outwardly, you know, I mean, it could be, but this is more like your inner critic. It just feels really strong and it feels really heavy, and you guys are making life a lot harder for yourselves than it needs to be. Anytime you take a course of action or make a decision that you perceive to be a mistake or a failure, it's okay. You know, you guys, you can move on from that. You don't need to give yourself like 100 fucking lashes just because you're like, damn it, I fucked up. You know what I mean? I just get this really, maybe you have Virgo in your chart, like Virgo sun, moon or rising, or Capricorn sun, moon or rising. You don't have to, but I just get earth energy from you guys, maybe even Taurus as well, but more so Virgo and Capricorn. And I just get this feeling of shame and this feeling of disappointment and like just feeling like a failure. And honestly, like, this is not me being like, you guys are failures. Like, this is the energy that I get from you. My heart feels heavy. Like, I feel just tremendously disappointed when I tap into how you seem to feel about yourselves. And honestly, it's kind of heartbreaking for me to tap into that energy. Not because it's hard for me to be in that energy, it's because I know that you're in this energy, and this whole year is about you loving yourself, loving your body, loving your quirks, your eccentricities, loving the things that make you different from other people. And you guys feel like really old souls. I can tell that even though things aren't going the way that you want them to right now, that you have so much life experience under your belt in this lifetime and in previous other lifetimes. So I just want to validate that you've been here many times before, and this current challenge that you are experiencing is your soul's Achilles heel, I want to say. And that is accepting where you are at the time and place when you're there, accepting who you are, accepting how long it takes you to achieve certain things. I kind of feel like you guys are my group who have watched other people succeed with similar things in a shorter space of time, or with less complications and less issues. And I just want to say to you guys, like, I love you. Like, I don't know who you are, but I love you guys. Like, I still get this, like, cheerful sense of humor. Like, maybe you're a little bit grouchy or grumpy, but you know, you still pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you keep going. And I feel like maybe the last 5 minutes of me talking has been kind of difficult, like, you know, tough pills to swallow, but this is what's changing for you this year. This is not who you're going to be by the end of the year. And, you know, at any point, even now, if you're watching this in 2022, when I'm putting it out, like, you can start working on this. You will be able to overcome these challenges. And I honestly, truly believe that the bulk of challenges and difficulties that you experience in your external environment are a representation of you not being in touch with your emotions and your inner world. And it's almost like maybe you create certain scenarios so that you can tend to real life, practical matters, rather than having to focus on what's going on at a deep and emotional level. And that's not to blame you for where you're at or why you feel the way that you feel. That's just me, you know, picking up on whatever it is that I'm picking up on. So let's now have a look at the third quarter of the year. Okay, so the blessing that's coming through is the Four of Pentacles. Given that this is in the blessings position, this is amazing. This card represents that you've built a solid foundation. Like, congrats to you guys as you move into July, August, September. Something solid has started for you guys. Now, for some of you, this could be self-confidence, a sense of personal power and achievement, landing a new job, a solid start with your business or with a creative project or a business venture. For some of you, this could be the beginnings of a romance, or like feeling as though you're on solid ground with your significant other. Solid, solid, solid. That's just like what I want to hone in on. And all of a sudden I'm just looking at my little turtle here, and it's just making me think about how turtles lay like, what is it, 100 eggs, and then they like leave them and then they fuck off, and then the turtles have to like make their way into the water. I feel as though you guys have like stopped and started many things, and you're just like praying that something is going to stick, and it will. It's like a seed that you have planted is finally going to make it. Interesting that I've used that analogy, and now I'm looking at the ocean. Okay, so something that you've wanted to manifest is making its way to the ocean, to the sea, where it's going to just be able to grow and be nurtured and prosper. And anyway, I'm going to roll the dice and just get more info. Okay, I've got the 11th house, Mercury and Capricorn. For some of you, this is connected to a long-term business plan or a financial plan or a passive form of income. For others of you, this is to do with community, friends, your wider network. For others, this is to do with like a long-term goal or project, or even collaborating with other people. It doesn't have to be any of this. One last thing I'm going to say, like just pertaining to the roll of the dice, is that this could be to do with your career objectives, or for the legacy that you want to leave behind, and just making plans and having clarity when it comes to that. So I pulled the Surrender the Divine card for this particular quarter, which again is the third quarter, so July, August, September. I just keep coming back to this turtle laying its eggs and then buggering off. So honestly, guys, like another analogy that I could give is if you plant a seed, like literally in the soil, and then you pat it down. Like, what do? You pat it down and then you water it. I'm not a gardener. You don't keep digging up the seed to see how much it's grown. Like, you honestly just need to like plant your seeds, hope for the best, like do what needs to be done for it to grow in the right environment, and just like wait to see that little shoot or that little sprout come out. So there is an element of trust that needs to come through here. With the obstacle card, I've got the 10 of Cups. Okay, so sorry, I show cards really quickly because I've got just no awareness of how fast or slowly I'm doing things. So the 10 of Cups card is connected to joy, emotional fulfillment, happiness, love, romance, family. Because this is coming up in the obstacle position, it could be that there is a bit of a slow start when it comes to a romantic situation or to a family situation. For others of you, there could be a bit of pushback from your family or from your children, or with something that you're trying to do. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of the different ways that this can play out because it's a general reading and there are many, but you know, it could be one of those factors. So things not going exactly the way that you hoped with family, romance, or, you know, family life, maybe even property life. I mean, your property matters and circumstances, or you're not necessarily receiving the support that you wanted from certain family members or from certain loved ones. It doesn't need to be family. So I'm just going to pull another card. This says Shaman, trust in higher forces. Now, in pile 1, in group 1, I actually pulled the Shaman card, like from this deck. So if group 1 was jumping out at you or calling to you, you may want to go and watch group 1 as well, because there may be messages for you in that respect. I'm just going to pull one more card from this deck. This says Father Sky, trust in the unknown. I can't remember if this came out earlier in this group or if it was the previous group, but ultimately we've got two cards here saying trust. One says trust in higher forces and one says trust in the unknown. Okay, and we've got an owl and an eagle. So ultimately, there is an element of faith or trust that you must have in this situation. And again, I'm coming back to, you know, the turtles laying their eggs and then just trusting that the hatchlings are going to do their best. Is that what they're called? Mini turtles are going to be doing their best to just like make it back into the sea. And the same thing is or can be said for the planting the seed analogy. You need to do what you can with what you've got, and then just fucking hope for the best, okay? Because there will be a jumping off point where you just have to like cross your fingers that you shoot your shot and that it's going where you want it to go. You know, if I use one final analogy, love my analogies, you can think about an archer, and maybe you're a Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising, but basically Sagittarius is ruled by the archer, so we've got the arrow here. So you can think about aiming, okay? So you can practice all you want with aiming, and then you release, you shoot your shot, and you're like, please make it to the target. So, you know, don't overthink it. If you've done all the research that you need to do, if you've made all the preparations that you need to make, there's a point where you just have to trust and leap and just hope for the best. Okay, so trust in higher forces, trust in the unknown. In terms of timing, I'm suddenly getting an awareness of the fact that you may, let's call it shoot your shot, and think that it's missed the target, or the response or the reaction may not be what you hoped for, but that doesn't mean that it's a no, or that doesn't mean that the situation has dissolved or dissipated. There can just be like a slow reaction time from whatever set of circumstances you're experiencing, which is interesting because I just pulled the patience card, okay, which really affirms what I've just said. And I also pulled pleasure as well. So there will be a lag, there's a delay, there's a buffering period between you building this solid foundation, shooting your shot with something, and then seeing the results come into fruition. Anyway, I'm not going to harp on about it anymore. But in terms of the advice that's come through, we've got the Queen of Wands here. Okay, so the Queen of Wands is almost always seen with her black cat. So black cats may be important to you. I did pull in the previous pile in group 3, the High Priestess, which had a black cat as well, the Egyptian cat. Is it Bast? Anyway, so you may feel inclined to watch group 3 if you were feeling like that there may be messages in there for you, like go ahead. Because this is coming through as the advice. This is about knowing your worth, standing your ground, trusting in your own skills and talents, trusting that you have whatever it takes to make your dreams come true and to you know, bring them into fruition. So with the Queen of Wands here, she just has so much confidence. And, you know, you don't have to be a she. This is just like the energy of the Queen of Wands figure. This really speaks about confidence, self-worth, also knowing what your gifts are. This speaks to being charismatic, vivacious, attractive, appealing, sexual as well. So this is about you using the full range of your gifts and talents to just have confidence in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And I'm hearing fake it till you make it. So that could be important for you in the last quarter of, the third quarter of the year. But because I said the last quarter accidentally, there's no accidents, this could be a continuation into the final quarter of the year. Speaking of which, now let's take a look at October, November, December. Actually, no, hang on. I didn't pull an Angels of Abundance card. Okay, we're still in the third quarter. This says gratitude list. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. And I'm also drawn to look at the lamb and the donkey. And with the donkey, it's making me think about, like, you don't want to make an ass of yourself, or an ass, you know. So it's almost like I'm just getting this energy of you put yourself out there. That, to be honest, that's what's coming through. You're like putting an offer out there. You're putting yourself out there somehow. You've built what you think is a solid foundation and you're just like hoping to God that it all comes off. I implore you not to start making excuses for yourself or like apologizing for why things aren't perfect. So yeah, it's about not making an ass of yourself. So for example, let's just say you're like, you're suggesting that you go into business with someone else, or you're like asking someone to, let's say, be exclusive in a relationship with you. ask and then just leave it. You don't want to be like, do you want to go into business with me? I know I'm not as experienced as you, or I know you may have misgivings, and like, don't do that. You know, there's like that self-deprecating energy that comes in that you may feel inclined to exhibit. Not all of you, obviously, but if you are thinking of doing that, just don't. And the same can be said for if you're asking someone out, if you're asking someone to enter into a relationship with you, just be like, you know, this is how I feel, this is what I want. The ball's in your court. Like, I'll give you all the space and time that you need, and then just leave it alone. I feel like I've really, really nailed that. Anyway, I've flogged a dead horse, is what I'm trying to say. So for the last quarter of the year, the obstacle is, the blessing is the 5 of Swords. The obstacle is the Star reversed, and the advice is the 9 of Swords. I feel like these cards are really like they've come out in a really weird order, because usually I would associate the Star with being the blessing, the obstacle being the 9 of Swords. Anyway, whatever. So with the blessing and the 5 of Swords, to me this indicates that you're actually overcoming the urge to self-deprecate, or the urge to put yourself down. I feel as though you are going to be speaking to yourself or about yourself, or just like in your mind, with so much more respect, and it just feels as though lots of self-limiting beliefs are falling away from you during this period of time, in a way which feels like an enormous transformation, especially with Love Your Body. I kind of feel like this is you getting to a point where it's not even about loving your body, but you're like, I'm actually awesome and I actually do love myself. Like, I just feel really excited for you guys as you move into October, November, and December. And in terms of the obstacle that's coming through, we have the Star being reversed. So I just want to say that although the overall energy is, I'm awesome, I've got a lot to offer, like I'm confident, I'm powerful, the obstacle with the Star being reversed is a little bit of an inferiority complex, or feeling like you are not worthy or deserving of the thing that you want to obtain, or the relationship that you want to enter into, or, you know, maybe this is to do with like an increase in pay in the workplace. So yeah, I'm just seeing you kind of like walking on a tightrope, and it's like, on one hand you're like, I'm the best, I'm all, you know, it in a bit. And then on the other hand, you're like, oh my God, I'm so fucking shit. Like, you're kind of still slipping into that like self-deprecation mode, or that mode of putting yourself down. I'm just going to roll the dice here. Pluto, the 9th house in Libra. Wow, there is some kind of huge transformation that is coming through with respect to partnership energy, relationship energy, and just knowing your worth in all kinds of relationships. I also feel like there is this incredible transformation that comes through with respect to how you operate within like your communication style and relationship style, whether this is with friends, loved ones, family, romantic partner. It's just like a level of self-awareness that was not present before, which feels extremely profound to me. So I'm going to pull couple more oracle cards and then we'll wrap it up. In terms of advice, I've got the 9 of Swords card here, which talks about overthinking things, not sleeping well, waking up in the middle of the night and freaking out. So in terms of the advice, it's kind of like, you know, at times you may kind of, I want to say relapse, but slip off the wagon when it comes to speaking about yourself in an empowered way and in a self-respecting way. And just don't worry about it. Like, if you slip up in that regard, like, you know, it's not that you've fallen all the way back. Also, I do think that the last 3 months of the year, sleep may be a little bit wonky or maybe a little bit up and down, but I don't want you guys to worry about that because you're going on a healing journey. So this says Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Okay, I know that I've spoken a lot about healing and, you know, like your emotional state, your mental state. this year feels more like it's about what's happening on a deeper level, like a personal transformation for you guys, as well as certain obstacles and burdens lifting. But yeah, I just want to emphasize, well, I just want to make the point that even though I may not have spoken too much about what's happening in an external way, just know that things changing on a 3D level or in an external level come as a direct result of the changes that occur within. And I promise you, how you're going to feel as you get to the end of the year versus where you're at now, let's say watching it at the end of 2022 or the start of 2023, you just won't even know yourself. And I say that like meaning in the best possible way. Okay, I really feel like you're going to be stepping into your personal power. So this says exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. So this card is all about physical exercise in order to achieve abundance. I'm going to pull another card actually, because why not? This says pay yourself first. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. Okay, right in the 11th hour, I'm realizing how important what you earn is to you, like financial abundance. Obviously, finances are important to everyone, but for you guys, I feel like there is an unfair correlation between what you earn, what you make, how much money you have, and how you perceive yourself. And the thing is, that's going to be shifting for you. Okay, one of the cards I pulled out for the fourth quarter is a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. This portends good things for relationship energy, whether you want to get into one or whether you're in an existing relationship. I also pulled grace and believe. Okay, so this is belief in yourself and feeling like you're a more graceful person, more articulate, more self-respecting. I feel like you will perceive yourself as being more of a worthy and empowered individual. And I don't know if I rolled the dice already for the fourth quarter. I don't think I did, so I'm going to roll it again. Sun, Scorpio, and the 12th house. Wow, you guys are just going to be overcoming self-sabotaging behavior, overcoming fears, and for some of you, addictions as well. This is also a powerfully creative time for you and also a very healing time for you as well. So anything that you want to create in an artistic sense, you will have the power to do so. And I feel as though if you are already an artistic person, that you'll just be taking it to the next level and maybe even transforming your artistic style for some of you. And so I just feel inclined to pull one more card for you guys as I close out the reading. So fourth quarter, Eagle, see from a higher perspective. Okay, so this is you seeing yourself. Oh my gosh, and look, we have the eye as well. Okay, so we have that all-seeing eye. So I feel like you are just going to be seeing yourself through a completely different lens, and I honestly feel like you guys are going to love who you are and who you're looking at as you close out the year in 2023. So group 4, that's all I have for you for this reading. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to purchase your 2023 yearly horoscope, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description box below. I am going to ring these bells just to cleanse the energy. So if you want to stick around and be cleansed, I advise you to turn your volume down because these will be loud. Thanks group 4 and wishing you all the best of luck for 2023.